Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to your June 2019 Astro Update. It's Rena here. Scorpio, this is a month where I feel like it's very spiritual for you. There are other things that are associated with the 8th and ninth houses, but there's like a lot of transits that are in these houses. And so these areas are emphasized for you. The 8th house is the house that you rule in the universal chart. And for you, the 8th house is Gemini. And Gemini is the sun is in Gemini during late May until late June. So this is during that time frame. As the month begins, the sun is in the 8th house. So it's like you're in your element, all of the things that the 8th house represents, which is shared resources. I do feel like there could be something with inheritance or child support, or if in some cases there is like, for some of you who are like getting divorced, or even if you aren't legally married, if you're like separating your finances from somebody else's, this could come into play because the 8th house can deal with, I don't know all the things that people connect with. Even like debts. The 8th house can be debt, but you may be trying to untangle yourself from somebody else's. So you're just kind of like, really like concentrating your forces into this area, but even possibly benefiting from it. The other thing about the 8th house is that it's about transformation. You are the master of transformation, Scorpio. You're like the cat that has 9 lives. And the thing that I wanted to say along those lines is that if you're looking to deepen your life in some way, the average Scorpio person is going to say, "Deepen? Are you joking? I'm already deep. What are you talking about?" But even like in terms of career aspirations, I could even see with the sun in the 8th house looking for possible careers that involve the psychic arts, some kind of metaphysical study and practice, the tarot, and things like that. And so all month long, Mars is in the 9th house in the sign of Scorpio, in the sign of Cancer. So for you, Scorpio, Mars gives that certain kind of like a push, a drive, a desire, burning desire to do this. And this may come about through other things that are going on that have nothing to do with this particular reading, but have to do with your own life, where you are tired. Maybe you're tired of some kind of a superficial job that you have, and you feel that you are looking for more meaning in your life. There's one thing that Scorpios detest, and it's superficiality. You don't want to be around people that are superficial, that are fake, that are, and by the way, fake and superficial are two different meanings. So they're not synonymous, but they are very similar in what they represent. And you may be just like, I need some people, including coworkers, if you have to even have coworkers, who are not going to like bore me with their stories that kind of bring down my vibe. I'm like trying to raise it up and they're trying to bring it down, not even with negativity, but just with triviality, mundanity. So you're deepening your spirituality and taking it to the next level, really, because it's not just about organized religion. It's for you, it's mystical. And the 8th house is the house of the occult. You have a new moon here. on the 3rd of the month. And this is at 12 degrees of Gemini. And so I could see you embarking upon a new course in studies of, astrology, the tarot, other things that are kind of like esoteric. And for some of you, because you are a water sign and you may possess these kinds of psychic talents naturally, you may be even like getting involved with reading the Akashic records, or which, it's funny because the 12th house is another water house and it's ruled by Pisces, and that can deal with past lives in the Akashic records. So it's weird because the 8th house is more like mediumship and kind of like communicating with the dead. The 8th house is the house of death. So maybe it's like that, like kind of channeling or something like that. And especially if you have a mentor or like a teacher that you're working with, and you're being instructed on how to do it properly, safely, whatever. And then on the 4th, Mercury goes into Cancer, which is the 9th house. And another possibility is that if you're going to university or you want to, the new moon in the 8th house could be receiving some kind of a loan, a student loan or a grant, a scholarship, and maybe you're getting word on that. And so now you're able to enroll in school. Mercury can be that process of communicating with the university perhaps, and also contracts or forms, paperwork. So that could be going on too. Maybe you're communicating with some kind of foreign entity. Perhaps you're about to travel and you're getting your passport together, buying your plane tickets. On the 8th, Venus goes into Gemini, and this is the 8th house. Venus is in the 7th house for the first week, so it's very good for marital issues. And this brings it to the next level, which is the area of intimacy. People automatically think sex. And yes, sex is part of the 8th house, but spiritual sex. The 8th house is also emotional intimacy. So no filters, no facades, when it comes to bearing your soul to another person. For that deeper bond, I almost said deeper bondage. Was that a Freudian slip there? Deeper bonding is what I meant. And none of you, well, I won't go there. I was going to make an S&M joke to Scorpio. Okay. On the 17th, we have a full moon at 25 degrees of Sag. For Scorpio, this is your 2nd house of earned income. So you have this whole thing going on. It's funny, like I was getting a little bit nervous because I did your opposite sign, Taurus's reading just a few minutes ago, and I was noticing some similarities, and I actually went back to check because I was hoping that I wasn't making mistakes. But because you and Taurus are opposing signs, you have that axis going on. And so it's going to be like, both of you have the money houses activated, but in different ways. So for you, this is the full moon is going to be in the 2nd house of earned income. Now, this may be, again, if you are going through other kind of changes and you have quit your job and you're just not happy with it, you will be, this could be like you receiving like a severance package, or if you get laid off or something along those lines where your income is ending, you may get like a, what do you call that? Like kind of the money that is coming in a culmination, like a severance package, but there's another, not a buyout. I don't know what they call that. I mean, if you're retiring, it's called a golden parachute, I think. But in any case, Yeah, and some of you may be retiring. It's possible that you're of the age where you can do that. I usually don't acknowledge that, which I should, because for sure that can be happening. And you don't even have to be in your 60s to retire. I mean, with certain types of jobs, at least in the United States, you work 30 years, you get a pension, or even 20. I don't know. I'm sure that there are still places, like if you're teaching or something, you may work a certain amount of time and you're qualified to get a pension. So um, that could be happening, but it could be like even a raise, because maybe you've been working on a project at work and you qualify for a raise, or you get like a promotion. On the 21st, there is the solstice time. So we have the change of seasons. The sun is going into Cancer, and in the northern hemisphere, this is obviously summer. Southern hemisphere, it's winter. All of these times when there's change of seasons, the sun is going into a cardinal sign. Cancer is a cardinal sign, and that means change, and kind of like it's a upping of the energy, because cardinal signs want to take action. So this is your ninth house. This can be travel for, long distance travel. Again, like I said, Mercury is in that house, so you may be already traveling at this point. This could even have career connections, like teaching English as a second language, or anything with academia. Yeah, because we have this ninth house contact where you're a traveling professor, or perhaps you have a contract work. There are definitely people that I have done personal readings for, especially in Europe, where there's a lot of fluidity going from country to country. But who knows? Even like some people are working in the Middle East, who are in way far away countries. So it's really amazing, this global village of ours. And so on the same day, Neptune is actually turning retrograde in the fifth house of romance. So those Scorpios who are dating, you may get a wake-up call, a reality check. What do they call that? Is that called a reality check? About a dating partner. Maybe you find out that they're not who they claim to be. Actually, for single Scorpios, you may be kind of scratching your head and saying, how have I been attracting these people into my life? I really should find out when Neptune went into Pisces. I should know by now. For some reason, I keep forgetting. I think it was 2011, and in that time frame. And so if you check back from that era, yes, I just double checked. I finally just decided to check. So it was 2011. As far back as then, think about if you have been having a bit of a challenge when it comes to um, relationships, people, and I'm talking about if you're like, single and you're dating different people and they just all turn out to be one thing after the other. Deceptive, it can be addictions, maybe a little bit crazy. What else? Just, just not what they seem to be. But remember that there's a spiritual connection to Neptune. So this could be meeting your soulmate. Neptune will be in Pisces until 2025. 2020. Why can't I say things? 2025. Why am I saying 2025? 2025. So there's always a flip side. It's not that everything is like totally negative. So that's happening for you. And let's see what else is going on. The other thing too is that on the 26th, Mercury goes into Leo, and this is your 10th house of career. So I definitely think that your career is starting to heat up. It's going to be more of a thing in July and August, but um, Mercury is going there. If you're looking for work and maybe you've already started to talk to people, have an interview, maybe you've signed your contract with Mercury in that 10th house and you're going to be starting pretty soon, but then that's going to start to heat up for you. So anyway, Scorpio, I hope that you enjoyed this. And I have a special offer going on. It's a little bit convoluted. I kind of realized after the fact that this could actually apply to anybody. But this is the deal. If you have your rising sign in either Gemini or Cancer, so you'd have to already know this. I can't look it up for you, but you'd have to know. And okay, if you have it in one of those two signs, because I'm offering a 22% off my natal chart readings for people who are born, who are a Cancer or a Gemini person. And then I extended it to, I thought, well, what about the rising sign? So now I'm bringing up the rising sign. But those are the rules, and this will be through June of this year, 2019. So you'll have to contact me for that at rainamoonastrology@gmail.com. I have written it below, so you know how to spell it. But this is not something I'm offering on my website. That's why I'm telling you. But I do have a link to my website as well. Okay, have a great month. Take care. Bye.